Hey, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, glad you found us. Today we've got 20 listings pulled straight off the marketplaces, and we're gonna figure out which ones are actual deals and which ones are somebody's problem dressed up in a nice photo. I've bought the lemons so you don't have to. Let's get into it. First up, a 1984 Chevy Corvette C4, asking $9,000. And right off the bat, that's a fair to slightly optimistic number for an 84 C4, but not crazy. These are still the cheapest way into a Corvette, so nobody's retiring off this one. Now let's read the tea leaves. One owner, Arizona car, never seen snow, that's actually the good stuff. No road salt means the frame and the fuel lines aren't rotting out from underneath, which matters on a 40-year-old car. Target top, clean title, 52K miles, everything works. New tires. On paper? Legit, that mileage is genuinely low, and for a car this age it's believable if it's a garage queen. But here's what he didn't say, and it's the whole ballgame. Not one word about the engine or transmission running or driving. He lists manual transmission, and here's the deep cut. The 84 C4 came with the infamous Doug Nash 4+3 transmission, a 4-speed manual with an electronic overdrive bolted on. That overdrive unit is a known headache, expensive to fix, and half the people who owned these cars didn't even understand how to drive it. He didn't say runs great, he didn't say drives, he said the radio and CD player work. When a seller lists the stereo before the drivetrain, that tells you where his priorities, and maybe the car's problems are. Also, the 84 specifically is the weakest C4 year. That's the Crossfire Injection 5.7, about 205 horsepower, and gutless compared to the 85 and up L98. Enthusiasts know this. The digital dash is also famous for pixels dying out. So the deal, if it runs and drives clean, $9,000 is reasonable, but I'd talk him toward $7,500, $8,000, because 84s trade under later years. Get it on a lift, check that 4+3 overdrive engages, and make sure the dash actually lights up. Verdict: buy after inspection. Drive it before you believe it, and if he won't let you, that silence on runs becomes a scream. All right. Let's roll out of that Arizona driveway and go look at something with a little more history on it. We're jumping back almost 20 years to a classic. This is a 1967 Ford Mustang Coupe, V8 289, asking $8,000. And let me just say, if this thing is what it says it is, that's a strong price. A running, driving 67 Mustang with a 289 for $8,000 is the kind of number that makes you look twice. Because a nice one is a $25K plus car all day. So the question isn't, is this a good deal? It's what's the catch? Reading the listing, there's actually a lot I like here, and it reads like a car guy wrote it, not a flipper. Rebuilt motor and transmission, only 500 miles, that's real value if it's documented. Rebuilt 289 with a 4-barrel carb, new tires, new gas tank, new upper and lower ball joints. Those are all the boring, unglamorous parts that people skip. The fact that he's replaced the ball joints tells me he actually drives it and cares about the front end. Good tags, runs good. Honest, plain language. But here's the tell, and he says it himself, has little rust shown in pictures. On a 67 Mustang, rust is the enemy. These cars rot at the floor pans, the torque boxes, the shock towers, and the frame rails. A little rust in the pictures almost always means more rust underneath the pictures. That, plus a suspiciously low $8,000 price, tells me the body and floors are where the money went sideways. What he didn't say, nothing about the frame rails or floor pans, no mention of whether that rebuilt motor came with receipts, and rebuilt transmission with no detail. Is it still the original C4 automatic? Numbers matching? Silence. So the real deal, this is a project priced like a project. Budget for rust repair. Because floor pans and torque box work can run $3,000, $8,000 if a shop does it. Bring a magnet and a flashlight. Get underneath it. Poke the floors and the shock towers. Ask for the engine rebuild receipts. Verdict: buy after inspection, and inspect the metal, not the motor. If the floors are solid, $8K is a steal. If they're crunchy, that's your whole negotiation right there. Let's step off the pony car and go big, like land yacht big. This next one's a full-size slab of American steel from 1970. Here's the 1970 Oldsmobile Delta 88, asking $6,800. Silver RWD V8 automatic, 98K miles on the clock. And my gut reaction? That's a lot of money for a listing this thin. Delta 88s from this era are cool, cruisy, underappreciated boats. But they're not blue-chip collector cars, and $6,800 is top of the range for one, unless it's genuinely clean. Now the description. This is basically a haiku. Good Motortrans runs needs TLC call make offer. That's it. That's the whole pitch. And in seller speak, let me translate the two phrases that matter. Runs? Okay. It moves under its own power? Good. But needs TLC is one of the most loaded phrases in the marketplace. TLC doesn't mean give it a hug. TLC means there's a list, and he either doesn't know how long it is or doesn't want to type it out. Brakes, exhaust, interior, a headliner hanging down, weeping seals. TLC is the polite word for you'll be spending money. And notice the make offer. He didn't dig in at $6,800, he floated it and immediately invited you to talk him down. That tells me the number's soft, and he knows it. What he didn't say is basically everything. No mention of rust, no interior condition, no AC, no brakes, no service history, and good motor with zero detail. Under the hood, you're likely looking at a 350 or the big 455 Rocket V8. And which one it is matters a lot, because the 455 is the fun one people actually want. He doesn't say. On a car this size, the boring killers are brakes, fuel lines, and a rotted trunk pan you can't see in a silver-on-silver photo. So the deal, with a description this vague, you price for the unknown. A needs TLC Delta 88 is realistically a $3,500, $5,000 car unless it surprises you in person. Go see it. Pop the hood and confirm which engine. Check the frame and trunk for rot. Test the brakes before you trust them. Verdict: buy after inspection and offer low. He said make offer, so make one that respects how much TLC really costs. Start at 5 and mean it. Alright, we're staying in the Oldsmobile family, but this next one's a big jump up the ladder, both in desirability and in price. Meet the 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass S, asking $15,000. White coupe, 87K miles, 350 V8, clean title. And this is a much more serious number than the Delta 88 we just looked at, but here's the thing. A nice 69 Cutlass S can absolutely justify 15 grand. These A-body coupes are hot right now, so this isn't crazy money. It's just money that demands proof. Reading the listing, and I like this one, it's written by someone who knows what they've got. Original survivor with 87,000 miles, has all paperwork. Survivor is the magic word in this hobby. It means unmolested, original, not a repaint and flip. And all paperwork backs it up. That's what separates a 15K car from a 9-color car. Documentation is real value. Buckets with console, drives like a dream. That all supports the price. But now let me put my haggle hat on, because there's an honesty in this listing that's actually your leverage. 350 with 2-barrel, 2-speed automatic. He's telling you straight up, this is a base drivetrain Cutlass. That 2-speed is the old Jetaway/Super Turbine 300, fine, reliable. But it's the economy box, not a performance car. And a 2-barrel 350 is the mild version. This is not a 442, it's not a W31, it's not a numbers-heavy muscle car, it's a clean, honest, original cruiser. Which is great. But the muscle car premium doesn't fully apply here. and that matters at $15K. What he didn't say, nothing about rust, floor pans, or the frame, and A-body's rot at the rear frame rails and trunk. No word on whether the ACK works, or if it even had it. Survivor also means original everything, so expect an aged interior and 55-year-old wiring. The deal, a genuine documented Survivor is worth real money, but base 350 TAF barrel/tow speed cars trade a notch under the loaded ones. I'd call fair at $12,000, $13,500, and I'd lean on that base drivetrain to negotiate. Verify the paperwork matches the car, get underneath for rot, and drive it to feel that 2-speed shift. Verdict: buy after inspection. Real Survivor, honest seller, fair-ish price, just don't pay $442 money for a 2-barrel cruiser. Let's climb out of the coupes and into something with a whole lot more roof. We're going vintage utility now. Back when an SUV was just a truck that ate a station wagon. This is a 1970 Chevrolet Suburban, asking $20,000. Condition listed as excellent, 40K miles, restored. And that's the biggest number we've hit today, but honestly, vintage Suburbans have gone way up. These early ones have a real following now, and a properly restored one can command this and then some. So $20K isn't a red flag by itself, it's a show me price. Reading the listing, this one's written like a restoration ad, and there's good detail. Repainted and restored 7 years ago. Okay, that's real work. And the interior description backs it up. Reupholstered in gray cloth, matching carpets, wood-accented door panels, body color dash. That's a thoughtful, done with care interior, not a slap-together flip. Heater, lap belts front and rear, radio spare in the cargo area. It paints a nice picture. But here's where my eyebrow goes up, and it's the classic collector truck gap. He described the upholstery in loving detail and said almost nothing about the drivetrain. Not one word about the engine running, how it drives, what V8 is even in it, probably a 350 or 400 small block. But he doesn't say. Restored 7 years ago is also doing heavy lifting. 7 years is a long time. A truck can sit and develop new problems, dried seals, a varnished carburetor, surface rust creeping back. And that 40K miles? On a 70 with no documentation, that's almost certainly a believed number or a post-restoration figure, not verified original miles. Don't pay for 40K you can't prove. What he didn't say, nothing on rust or the frame, and these rot at the rockers, cab corners, tailgate, and rear floor. Nothing on brakes, and drum brakes on a heavy truck that's been sitting need attention. No mention of whether it's a 2WD or 4WD, or the door configuration, which affects value a lot. The deal, a truly excellent restored Suburban can be worth $20K, but restored 7 years ago with no drivetrain talk is a $14K, $17K truck until proven otherwise. Get underneath it for rot, confirm the engine and how it runs, and test those brakes before you trust them downhill. Verdict: buy after inspection. The interior sounds lovely. Now make him prove the parts that actually move it. Let's shrink way down now, from a 2.5-ton Suburban to something you could practically pick up and carry. We're going British and tiny. Here's the 1975 Triumph Spitfire, asking $8,200. Condition excellent, 55K miles, manual, zero rust. And my first reaction? That's a top-of-market number for a mid-70s Spitfire. These are charming little roadsters, but they're not expensive cars. A really nice one lives in the 7K, 10K range, so at $8,200 he's asking you to pay for excellent. He'd better deliver excellent. Reading the listing, there's some honesty here I appreciate. It's not a race car, that's a guy telling you straight up, manage your expectations. This thing has about 57 horsepower and does 0 to 60 whenever it feels like it. That's not a knock, that's just Spitfire life, and I respect him saying it. Ready to drive and show, electric fuel pump upgrade, bolt on spoke wheels. The electric fuel pump swap is actually a smart mod. These came with a mechanical pump that's a known weak point, so someone who knows the car did that. The headline claim is zero rust, and on a Spitfire that's the entire ballgame, so if it's true, good. But here's what makes me lean in on the inspection. The thing that kills these cars isn't just body rust, it's the chassis and the outriggers, the little frame extensions the body sits on. They rot from the inside out, and you can't see it in a glamour shot. Zero rust needs to be proven underneath, not on the shiny bits. What he didn't say is a lot. Nothing about the engine running well, no mention of the notorious swing axle rear suspension, no word on the top or the interior condition, and no service history. Also, 75 was a smog-era car with a single Zenith Stromberg carb, so it's already the choke-down US version. Don't expect miracles. The deal, fair for a genuinely excellent, rust-free example, but excellent is his word, not a mechanic's. I'd hold around $7,000, $7,500 until the chassis checks out, and use anything you find underneath as leverage. Bring a flashlight, poke those outriggers and sills, and drive it to feel the clutch and gearbox. Verdict: buy after inspection. Cute, honest little car. Just make sure zero rust survives contact with a screwdriver. Let's take a big step back in time now, further than anything we've looked at today. We're going full mid-century, chrome and fins era. This is a 1956 Dodge Coronet, asking $12,500. Two-door hardtop, yellow, V8, automatic, 89K miles. And the first thing worth saying, a 56 Coronet two-door hardtop is a genuinely cool, increasingly rare car, and $12,500 for one that runs, drives, and stops is honestly reasonable. Two-door hardtops from this era are the desirable body style, so this isn't a crazy ask at all. Now the listing, and I gotta say, this is my kind of description. No fluff, no gorgeous barn find dream, just a parts receipt list. New wheel cylinders, new seat covers, rebuilt carb, new brakes, new fuel pump, newer starter. That's a guy who's been sorting the car and keeping it roadworthy, not polishing it for a photo. All that stuff, fuel system, brake hydraulics, is exactly the boring, unglamorous maintenance that a 70-year-old car needs to actually be usable. Runs, drives, and stops as it should. Plain and honest. I like it. But here's what to keep your eyes open for. That V8 is likely the early Hemi or the Poly 315A series, and parts for 50s Mopar engines are not like ordering for a small block Chevy. They exist, but they're more expensive and take more hunting. He rebuilt the carb and replaced the fuel pump, which tells me the fuel system needed attention, normal for the age, but note it. And automatic on a 56 Mopar means the 2-speed power flight, possibly still the push-button dash setup depending on build, quirky, but reliable when working. What he didn't say is the big one. Not a single word about rust or the body. On a car this old, floors, trunk, lower quarters, and the frame are everything, and yellow paint hides a lot in photos. He also didn't mention the interior beyond seat covers, no word on whether it's a fresh repaint or original, and no title history depth beyond clean. The deal, the mechanical honesty is reassuring, so the whole inspection rides on the body. If the metal's solid, $12,500 is fair, maybe nudge to $11K, $11,500. If there's hidden rot, pricing 50s sheet metal repair is brutal. Get underneath it, check floors and frame, and confirm which V8 you're buying. Verdict: buy after inspection. Honest mechanical work, fair price, just make sure that yellow paint isn't hiding a crusty foundation. Let's stay in the fins and chrome era but move up in size and luxury, from a Dodge to something Ford built to feel like a personal jet. Here's the 1960 Ford Thunderbird, asking $18,500. 65K miles, original 352 V8, automatic, clean title. And right away, that's a healthy number, But these Squarebird Thunderbirds are gorgeous cars, and the market backs it up. A clean, running 60 T-Bird can live in the high teens, so $18,500 isn't out of line for a good one. It's a prove-it-to-me price, not a warning sign. Reading the listing, it's short, but it hits the notes that matter, and there's no obvious nonsense. Original 352 V8 is a nice detail. That's the correct engine for the car, the Face Series Big Block. And saying original suggests it's not been swapped or hot-rodded. One repaint, excellent interior, runs and drives nice. I actually like the one repaint honesty. He's not pretending it's untouched original paint, he's telling you it's been done once, which on a 66-year-old car is completely reasonable and better than a car that's been painted 3 times to hide sins. Now the technical reality. That 352 Fe is a stout, simple engine, parts are out there and it's not exotic to work on, which is a plus over some of the oddball stuff we've seen today. The automatic is the Cruise-O-Matic, generally reliable. The things that actually eat these cars, rust in the floors, cowl and lower quarters, and the complicated power options, power windows, power seats, and that whole 1960 electrical system get cranky with age. What he didn't say is the tell here. Runs and drives nice is good, but there's nothing about the brakes, nothing about whether the power accessories work, and, the big one, not a word about rust or the underbody. Nice clean is a photo word, not a frame word. Also no service history, and 65K miles is stated with no support. So treat it as a believed number. The deal, fair-ish at ask if the body's solid and it drives out well. I'd aim for $16,000, $17,500, and use the brakes and any rust as leverage. Get it on a lift, poke the floors and cowl, test every power option, and make sure it stops as nice as it runs. Verdict: buy after inspection. Right engine, honest about the paint, fair market price. Now confirm the metal underneath matches the shine on top. Let's climb out of the classics and into something a little more working class, an old Ford pickup that's got a lot going on in the listing. Here's the 1979 Ford F-150, asking $8,300, reduced from $9,300. Straight 6, manual, Brully, yellow condition listed excellent. And my gut on the price? For a running dent-side F-150 with a fresh rebuilt 6, that's fair to good territory. These old trucks have gotten hot. But this listing is a novel, so let's actually read it, because there's honesty and red flags baked right in. First thing that matters, odometer rolled over. That 26,000 isn't 26K, it's 126,000, or 226,000. He's telling you the number on the dash is meaningless, which, credit to him for saying it, but don't pay for low miles. Now the good. And there's real substance. Look at that new list. Rebuilt straight 6. Fuel pump, starter, alternator, coil, distributor, carburetor, fuel filter, battery. That's basically the entire tune-up and fuel system done. A guy who rebuilds the 6 and refreshes all the supporting parts is a guy actually using the truck. The straight 6 is one of the most bulletproof engines Ford ever made. Simple, cheap, runs forever. Good bones. Then the honesty gets almost too real. Probably needs no parking brake. And no, pros told me not to bother is not a reason to skip a brake. That's a fix-it item. Instrument panel needs work. AC control not installed, and this one's not small. Exhaust pipe installed. As in, it needs one. Driving with an incomplete exhaust means fumes and noise. Budget for that. Good body, very little rust, but would benefit from a paint job. Translation: it's a driver, not a show truck, and he's not hiding it. He's throwing in an extra hood, a passenger door, and offering a topper, spare parts generosity, that says project truck. The tells, cryptocurrency oak, delivery available, and this is the one you want for total restoration. That last line means it's a project, not a finished truck, despite excellent up top. The deal: solid mechanical refresh, honest seller, but you're buying a driver with a to-do list. Around $6,500, $7,500 feels right. Use the missing exhaust, no parking brake, and needed paint as leverage. Confirm the exhaust situation, test the dual tank switch, and check the frame and cab corners for rust. Verdict: buy after inspection. Bulletproof engine, refreshed guts, transparent seller. Just price it as the project he literally calls it. Let's stick with the pickups but jump to the other side of the GM family. Same era, different badge, and this one's got a few goodies bolted on. Here's the 1985 GMC Sierra 1500. The listing calls it a Kiara, but that's a square-body Sierra half-ton, long bed 2WD, asking $7,500. 141k miles, 350 V8, automatic, and my first reaction: that's right in the money for a clean, running square body these days. These trucks have absolutely blown up in value. A genuinely clean one is easily a $7 10K truck now, so the price isn't scaring me. The listing quality is what we check. And this is a good listing, specific, confident, written by someone who knows the truck. 5007L 350 small block, Holley 650 carb, Edelbrock intake, Hooker headers. That's a mild, sensible performance setup. Nothing crazy, just the classic breathe better package. Guys have put on these forever. Parts are everywhere. It's the most supported engine on the planet, and any shop can work on it. 4-speed automatic shifts beautifully. That's the 700R4 with overdrive, which is the good transmission to have in these. Just note the early 700R4s can be fragile if abused, so I want to feel that shift myself. He gives real numbers too. Brakes 75%, tires 85% tread. That's a seller who actually looked, not one guessing. Runs and drives beautifully, no issues, no real major rust, interior super clean, one small rip on the driver's side. Honest about the little tear instead of hiding it. I trust that more than a flawless claim. Now, what to keep an eye on? Square bodies rot at the cab corners, rocker panels, bedsides, and the top of the windshield frame. No real major rust is a slightly hedged phrase, so verify that in person. And with an aftermarket carb and header setup, I'd confirm it's tuned right and not leaking at the header gaskets, which is a common annoyance. Cryptocurrency oak is a mild eyebrow raiser but not a deal breaker on a truck this straightforward. The deal: fair at ask if it checks out. There's not a ton of room here because square bodies command money, but I'd still try for $6,800, $7,200. Get underneath for cab corner and rocker rot, feel that 700R4 through the shifts, and check the headers for leaks. Verdict: buy after inspection. Honest, specific listing, desirable truck, sensible mods, fair price. This is one of the cleaner ones we've looked at today. We're back to the Mustangs, halfway through the episode now, and this one's a very different animal from that 67 driver we looked at earlier. This is a family car with a paper trail. Here's a 1966 Ford Mustang Coupe, C-Code V8, asking $14,000, negotiable, yellow, automatic, 102k miles, clean title. And I want you to hold on to one word from this listing before we go anywhere: non-running, because that changes everything about this price. $14,000 for a 66 Mustang that runs is normal. $14,000 for one that doesn't start and has to be towed home? That's a serious ask, and we need to unpack it. Now, to be fair, there's a lot to like about the provenance here. First acquired 1978, in the family for 48 years. One family car with the paperwork and full ownership history included. That's genuinely valuable. That's the stuff flippers can't fake. Major restoration completed in 2011, and he's honest that the engine, trans, brakes, steering, interior, and paint are original, meaning that 2011 work was a refresh, not a body off nut and bolt. Good to know. The C code is the 2.89 2-barrel V8, the mild one, not a hypo K code, so don't let anyone price this like a performance car. But here's the reality. Parked in garage for 15 years. A car that sat that long isn't a car you drive home, it's a wake-up project. He even lists the work: fuel lines, fuel tank, carburetor, battery. That's the minimum. After 15 years of sitting, I'd also expect a stuck or varnished fuel system throughout, dried out seals, brakes that need a full hydraulic rebuild, old gas turned to varnish, and tires that are only good for rolling it onto a trailer. And the honest little flags he did give you: paint chipping, trunk latch won't close, front fender slightly bent. Minor individually, but they add up. What he didn't say: nothing about rust in the floors, torque boxes, or shock towers, the classic Mustang killers. And on a car that sat 15 years in a garage, moisture damage is a real question. The deal: a running, sorted 66 coupe is a 14K 18-color car, but this is a non-runner needing a full recommissioning. Budget $2,500, $5,000 plus just to safely wake it up. More if the brakes and rust surprise you. It's negotiable, and he knows it. I'd be at $9,000, $10,500 tops, and that's if the floors are solid. Verdict: buy after inspection and pay non-runner money, not driver money. The family history and paperwork are great, but you're buying a project. Get underneath it, check the floors and torque boxes, and price in the wake-up bill before you fall in love with the story. Let's leave the trucks and Mustangs behind and go full luxury land barge. This is one of the most imposing personal luxury coupes Detroit ever built. Here's the 1971 Lincoln Continental Mark III, asking $15,000 oboe. White, 460 V8, automatic, and the odometer says 13,066 miles. And that mileage is the first thing we have to talk about, because 13K on a 71 is either an incredible time capsule find, or, far more likely, the odometer rolled over and it's actually 113,000. He doesn't say actual miles, he doesn't mention documentation, so I'm treating that 13K as 113K until proven otherwise. Don't pay a museum premium for an unverified number. Also, quick correction on the listing, it says FWE. That's wrong. The Mark III is rear-wheel drive. Just a marketplace mislabel, not a red flag, but worth knowing. Now the good, runs and drives, has aged very well. The 460 V8 is a torquey, dead simple big block. Parts are cheap and plentiful. Any shop can service it, and it'll run forever with basic care. That's a big plus over some of the fussier stuff we've seen. At $15K oboe, a nice driving Mark III is priced fairly to slightly high. These are gorgeous, but they're a smaller collector audience than a Mustang, so values are softer, and that oboe is doing real work. Here's the phrase that tells the whole story though: power windows, power seats, air conditioning, but will need repair. On these Lincolns, that little "will need repair" is a loaded clause, because the Mark III is a rolling festival of power everything and vacuum-operated systems. When he says AC needs repair, that often means a full R12 to R134A conversion, compressor, and the vacuum-controlled climate system. That alone can run $1,500, $3,000. Power windows and seats on these get slow and quit. No leaks is nice for the engine, but the power accessories are where the money hides. What he didn't say: nothing about rust, and these big Lincolns rot at the lower quarters, trunk, and floors, and it's heavy, expensive metal to fix. Nothing about brakes on a 5,000 lb car, and nothing on the vinyl top, which, if it's rotten, hides rust underneath. The deal: a solid driver is worth $10,000, $13,000 in this market, and with AC needing repair and unverified miles, I'd open around $10,000, $11,000 on that oboe. Confirm the real mileage story. Get underneath for rust, budget for the climate system, and drive it long enough to trust the brakes. Verdict: buy after inspection and negotiate hard on that oboe. Great cruising engine, honest-ish seller, but will need repair plus 13K miles are both invitations to knock the price down. Let's shift from that 71 Lincoln to the car that basically invented the American two-seat personal luxury idea, and we're going all the way back to the very first year. Here's a 1955 Ford Thunderbird convertible asking $18,000. Black V8 automatic, 71K miles. And straight up, a first-year 55 T-Bird is a genuine icon, and $18,000 for one is interesting, because a nice driving 55 is usually a $25K, $40K car. So either this is a strong deal, or there's a story. And reading this listing, oh, there's a story. This is one of the more, let's say, characterful descriptions we've had today. Reading between the crusty poetry. He's owned it 30 years, kept it garaged. He's older. He's selling off all his toys. And here's the key line: being cured of all its first rushed year of terrible engineering. Translation: this car is mid-project. Being cured is present tense. It's not done. A 55 was Ford's first year for the T-Bird, and yes, first-year cars have quirks, and he's clearly been sorting them out, but being cured means you're finishing the cure. The good news is this reads like a real long-term owner, not a flipper. 30 years in one garage, does his own wrenching, and that more than lipstick on a pig line is him telling you it's a genuine car with real work done, not a cosmetic cover-up. I actually believe him on that. And the 55 has the 292 Y-block V8. Decent, but the Y-block is known for oiling issues, especially the top-end rocker shafts if maintenance was ever skipped. Worth listening for valvetrain clatter. But here's the problem. This listing is all personality and almost zero information. He never says it runs, never says it drives, never says it stops. Being cured is the closest we get, and that's not a yes. No word on rust, and 55 T-Birds rot at the floors, rockers, and the convertible's structure. No word on whether the removable hardtop is included. No interior detail, no brake status. For an 18K convertible, that's a lot of silence. The deal, if it runs, drives, and the body's solid, 18K is a very good buy and worth every penny. But being cured plus total silence on running condition means you inspect this like a project. I'd go see it ready to hear it needs X to finish, confirm it starts and drives, get underneath for rust, ask about the hardtop, and listen to that Y-block idle. Verdict: buy after inspection. Could be a genuine bargain on an icon, but being cured is doing a lot of quiet work in that sentence. Go find out how far along the cure actually is before you hand over 18 grand. And whatever you do, don't leave him a cute comment. Let's roll from one big Lincoln straight into an even bigger one, and this time we've got a totally different kind of seller behind it. Here's a 1977 Lincoln Continental sedan, asking $15,980, claiming only 12K original miles. 460 V8. Automatic. Gray. And the very first thing I want you to notice, this isn't a guy in his driveway. This is Atomic Motors, a dealership in Henderson, Nevada, that changes how you read everything. Because now you're not reading an honest owner's notes, you're reading sales copy, written to sell. And boy, is it sales copy. The last of the great American luxury cars. Luxury was not measured in screens and software. It was measured in steel, chrome, horsepower, and comfort. That's a beautifully written paragraph that tells you absolutely nothing about this specific car. Notice the pattern. Every sentence describes what a 1977 Continental is in general: 19 feet long, 2 tons, 460 V8, celebrities and dignitaries, and almost nothing about this actual unit's condition. When a listing sells you the model instead of the car, slow down. Now, the mileage. Only 12K original miles on a 77 Lincoln. could be real, dealers do find genuine time capsules, but that's exactly the kind of claim a dealer prices a premium on, so you make them prove it with documentation, service records, or a title history. No proof, treat it as a rolled over $112K. And the dealer even covers themselves. It is the responsibility of the buyer to inspect the vehicle. That's the fine print that says we're not guaranteeing anything. Verify it yourself. Mechanically, the good news repeats from the last Lincoln. The 460 V8 is a torquey, simple, cheap to service big block, and these road boats ride like a couch on air. Beautifully updated, serviced and ready to go. Vague dealer speak, but if true, better than a barn find. These cars rot less out west, but still check the lower quarters, trunk, vinyl top and floors. And the power everything. Windows, seats, climate, that vacuum-operated stuff, is the usual money pit on 70s Lincolns. The deal, a nice driving 77 Continental, is realistically a $9,000 to $14,000 car. Genuine documented low miles, pushes the top. At $15,980 from a dealer, you're paying retail plus the low mile premium, so there's room. Dealers have less wiggle than private sellers, but I'd still push toward $13K, $14K and lean hard on show me proof of the $12K. Budget dealer dock fees on top, and get a third-party inspection since they basically invited you to. Verdict: buy after inspection, and after they document those miles. Great cruiser, dry state car, simple engine. Just remember you're reading a sales pitch, not a confession. Make them back up the star claim before you pay for it. Let's get out of the luxury barge lane and go back to something honest, simple and refreshingly unfancy. A good old slant 6 Mopar. Here's a 1967 Dodge Dart sedan asking $7,900. 6-cylinder, automatic, RWD, 125K miles, clean title. And right off the bat, this is one of the most honest listings we've read all day, and I love it for that. This isn't a flipper and it's not sales copy. This is a guy telling you exactly what the car is, warts and all, because it's been his actual daily driver. Look at how he tells the story. Finally actually for sale as I have purchased a replacement daily driver. That single sentence tells you more than most whole listings. This car has been relied on, daily, for years. A car that starts every morning and gets you to work is worth more peace of mind than any glamour queen that ran when parked. He's driven it. It works. Done. The mechanicals are genuinely reassuring. That's almost certainly the 225 Slant 6, one of the single most bulletproof engines ever put in a car. The leaning tower of power, and it'll run basically forever with an oil change and a prayer. New aluminum radiator, rebuilt carb, new cap rotor/plugs wires, newer tires and brakes. Runs, drives, shifts and stops very well. That's all 4 boxes checked, including stops, which half our sellers today conveniently forgot to mention. Now the honesty on the flaws is where he really earns trust. He's not hiding a thing. Rust on the rear catwalk, a gas stain from overfilling. Large paint bubbles on the hood, roof and trunk, needs paint and bodywork, looks good from 20 feet. That 20-foot car line is him telling you straight. It's a driver, not a show car. Paint bubbles on the roof and trunk can mean rust brewing underneath the paint, so that's your main inspection target. Here's my one pricing pushback though. It's a fantastic, honest driver. But it's a 6-cylinder 4-door sedan that needs paint and bodywork and has active rust. 2-door Darts and V8 cars pull the premium. A 4-door Slant 6 is the humble one. $7,900 feels a touch strong for what it is. And he literally says, feel free to make an offer. The door's wide open. The deal, as a reliable, sorted driver, real value here, but I'd be around $6,000. $6. $800 given the 4-door body, the rust and the paintwork it needs. Get underneath to see how far that catwalk rust goes and probe under the paint bubbles. Verdict: buy after inspection. One of the most trustworthy sellers we've seen today. a proven daily driver that stops as well as it goes. Just pay 4-door slant 6 money, not 2-door V8 money, and make him that offer he asked for. Let's stay right in the Mopar family. Same Dart bloodline, 3 years newer, and this one's priced to make you sit up. Here's a 1970 Dodge Dart Swinger, asking $400 to $500. Slant 6, automatic, 47K miles, clean title. And that price is the headline. $400 to $500 for a running, driving, insured Swinger with cold AC is genuinely low in today's market. The Swinger is the sportier 2-door hardtop version of the Dart, more desirable than that 4-door we just looked at, so a clean one is worth real money. At $4,500, my radar goes up in a good way. Either this is a deal, or the rust is the catch. And spoiler, he tells you it's the rust. This is another really honest listing, and honesty is the theme with these Dart guys apparently. He leads with substance. Over $3,000 in recent work. I have receipts. Receipts. That's the magic word. Documented work you can verify. New vintage AC, new shocks, rebuilt steering gearbox. That's real money in the boring essential stuff. Same bulletproof slant 6, clean title, currently insured, current tags. This is a car that's road ready right now, not a someday project. And then he does the thing I always beg sellers to do. He tells you exactly where the rust is. Rust issues at rear quarter panels and bottom fenders. Top and 80% of the metal is rust-free. Solid floors, trunk, frame. That last part is the critical bit. Rust in quarter panels and lower fenders is bolt-on-ish, patchable, cosmetic adjacent, annoying, but manageable. Rust in the floors, trunk and frame is the expensive structural stuff that kills cars, and he's saying those are solid. If that's true, this is a very buyable car. That's the right rust to have, if you have to have rust. The honest to-do list needs interior skin and headliner. Everything's there, just has seat covers. So it's a driver interior right now, budget for upholstery down the road. And a couple quirks, Viper alarm installed, and built in Canada. Worth noting because Canadian cars sometimes lived in road salt country, so I double-check that solid frame claim extra carefully given the origin. The deal at $4,500 with $3,000 in receipted work and cold AC, there's almost nothing to negotiate. This is already priced like the rust is baked in. If the floors and frame are truly solid, I'd buy at ask or nudge to $4,000, $4,200 and not push my luck. Verify those receipts, get underneath to confirm the frame really is clean, and probe the quarters to see how deep the rot goes. Verdict: buy after inspection, and this might be the best value we've seen today. Documented work, cold AC, bulletproof engine, and rust in the cheap places instead of the expensive ones. Confirm the floors and frame in person, and if they're solid, don't overthink it. Let's close out this batch with something a little different. Part car, part truck, all cool. The classic car-based pickup. Here's a 1965 Ford Ranchero, asking $7,900. White, 289 V8, automatic RWD, 136K miles, clean title. And the price is the first thing that jumps out. For a running, driving Ranchero with a V8 and this much sorted work, $7,900 is honestly a fair to good number. Rancheros have a devoted following. And with everything on this list, the price starts to look like a deal. So let's dig into whether it earns it. And this is a numbered list of receipts worth of work, 16 items deep, which I genuinely love, because it tells me this is an owner who's been methodically sorting the car and knows exactly what he touched. Let me point out what actually matters, because it's not the flashy stuff. The real value is in items 7, 8, and 9, dual chamber master cylinder with booster and proportioning valve, new front disc brakes, larger rear drums, all rubber brake lines replaced. That is the single best thing on this list. These cars came with drum brakes all around and a single circuit master, meaning one leak and you have no brakes. Converting to front discs and a dual chamber master, is the #1 safety upgrade you can make on a 60s car. And he did it right with the proportioning valve. That's a guy who cares about stopping, not just going. Add the 4-core aluminum radiator with electric fan. That solves the other classic car headache: overheating electronic ignition. New alternator, modern fuse block, all smart, sensible reliability upgrades. Now the flashier items are where I gently raise an eyebrow. Not in a bad way, just know what you're buying. Bluetooth stereo with a 1000-watt amp, Viper alarm, keyless entry, halo headlights, sunburst LED taillights. None of that hurts, but it tells you this is a personalized Restomod-ish driver, not a numbers-matching purist's car. The 289 is the good, desirable, easy-to-service V8, great engine. Here's what he conspicuously didn't mention. For 16 items about electrical, brakes, and cooling, there is not one word about rust, floors, the bed, or the body. Solid, clean throughout is the only body claim. And that's a photo phrase, not a frame report. Rancheros rot in the bed floor, cab corners, lower fenders, and the tailgate area, and a white car hides a lot. He also says nothing about how the engine runs or the transmission shifts. The whole list is bolt on upgrades, not runs and drives great. Odd omission. The deal, the mechanical and safety work here is legitimately excellent and worth real money. So at $7. $900 the price is justified if the body's solid. I'd offer around $7,000, $7,500, and make the whole negotiation about rust, because that's the one thing he didn't address. Get underneath and check the bed floor and cab corners hard, and make him start it cold so you hear that 289 and feel the trans. Verdict: buy after inspection. One of the best sorted mechanical packages we've seen today, especially those brakes, but the silence on rust and running condition is your inspection checklist. Confirm the metal and the motor, and this could be a really fun, safe, usable classic for the money. Let's wrap up this batch with our third Thunderbird of the day, and this might be the quirkiest one yet. Bit of Hollywood, bit of custom, and one detail that's going to need a serious conversation. Here's a 1963 Ford Thunderbird asking $10,000, condition listed fair. V8, automatic, 77K miles, clean title. And I want to flag that fair right up front, because it's the only seller today who led with fair instead of excellent, and honestly, I respect the candor. When a seller says fair, believe them and price accordingly. Now this is a fun listing with real personality. Looks like the one in the movie Flubber, the record player on the dash. Runs and drives, clean title, current registration, power brakes, power steering, many new parts, re-chromed bumper ends. That all sounds like a usable, characterful driver. The 63 Bulletbird is a gorgeous, swoopy design and a great cruiser with the 390 Fe V8, torquey, simple, well supported. So far, so good. The deal, a clean stock 63 hardtop is a $12 18-color car, but a roof-chopped one with no top is a different animal. The modification caps its value hard. At $10,000, I think that's strong for a cut car in fair condition. This is realistically a $6,500 $8,000 car, and that's if the chop was done well and the body isn't flexing. He'll consider trade, which tells me the number's flexible. Verdict: buy after inspection, as a cheap fun cruiser only, and offer well under ask. Get underneath and check for chassis reinforcement and rust, shut the doors and watch for body flex, confirm that 390 runs cool, and go in knowing you're buying a customized toy, not a classic that'll appreciate. Fun car. Just don't pay original hardtop money for a roof someone removed with a saw. Let's cross the Atlantic to finish up. From big American iron to a delicate little British roadster that's one of the prettiest shapes ever drawn. Here's a 1959 Minga Roadster, asking $9,000, condition good. Black, 4-cylinder, manual, convertible, and the Enga is a genuinely gorgeous, curvy, classic British sports car. A proper icon of the era. A nice driving one lives in the 12K 20 range, so at $9,000 my radar goes up the same way it did on that Swinger. Either this is a deal or it's an unfinished project. And reading this listing, it's the second one. First, the numbers. Odometer says 13,946, but he flags odometer rolled over, so that's really 113,946, or unknowable. Credit for the honesty, just don't pay for low miles. Fine, now the tell, and it's the last 4 words. I don't have the time to finish. That is the single most important phrase in this listing. This is a project car that's mid-sort. Finish means it's not finished. Now to be fair, the good news is he's put real money into the right stuff. Brakes, clutch, grille, new tires, those are exactly the safety and usability items you want done. And runs great is a genuine plus. So this isn't a basket case, it's a car that's most of the way there and stalled out. But good condition plus don't have time to finish on a British car of this age means you need to find out what finish actually means. It could be small, trim, tuning, a few cosmetic bits. Or it could be bigger. The listing is very thin, no mention of the interior, the convertible top, whether the body's straight, or the electrics. And here's the Minga specific stuff to inspect hard. These have a body on frame construction, and the frame and the sills rot, along with the floors. The sills are structural on a Minga, so that's your number 1 check. Also confirm whether it's the 1500 pushrod 4 versus the rarer twin cam. Matters for value and for parts. And runs great is his word. I want to hear it start cold and drive it. The deal, as an unfinished but running Menga, $9,000 is actually fair to good if the frame and sills are solid and finish is a short list. That's a lot of ifs. I'd go in around $7,500, $8,000, and make the whole negotiation about what's left to finish and what the frame looks like underneath. If it needs frame or sill work, walk or slash the offer. That's expensive structural repair on a small car. Verdict: buy after inspection. Beautiful, desirable roadster at a tempting price, with the right safety parts already done. But I don't have time to finish means you'll finish it. Get underneath for frame and sill rot, pin down exactly what finish includes, and drive it before you fall for that shape. Do that, and this could be a lovely deal on an icon. Let's finish strong with a genuine American icon, the car that had every kid's poster on the wall. Sleek, low, and unmistakable. Here's a 1978 Chevrolet Corvette, asking $14,500, condition like new. Silver 350 V8, automatic, T-tops, 38K miles. And 1978 is a special year. It's the 25th anniversary of the Corvette, and the year of the fastback rear window redesign, and he calls it the Anniversary Edition. Price-wise, a nice C3 like this lives in the 12K, 18K range depending on originality and condition, so $14,500 is right in the pocket for a good one. Fair ask. Let's see if the listing backs it up. Now the realistic notes. That like new up top is a little generous given he then admits scratches, dead ack, and a dead power antenna, so call it a very clean, honest driver, not literally like new. The 78 350 is a smog-era engine, don't expect big horsepower. These were choked down to well under 200 HP. It's about cruising, not racing. And the ack never charged could just need a recharge. Or it could need a compressor and seals, which on a C3 isn't cheap, so budget for it. Corvette-specific inspection stuff, the body is fiberglass, so it doesn't rust. But the steel birdcage frame underneath does, especially around the rear kickup and the T-top area, so that's your 1 check. Also inspect for T-top leaks and check the birdcage for prior fiberglass repairs. The interior dash pads and the notorious C3 electrical gremlins are worth a look too. 1 flag on tone, not the car. No test rides without cash in hand. I get protecting the car, but that's a slightly buyer-unfriendly stance. You're entitled to a proper inspection and a drive before you commit. Don't let cash in hand pressure you into skipping a pie. The deal: fair price for an original engine, original paint, long owned, honestly described C3. I'd offer around $13,000-14,000, using the DEDAC and power antenna as gentle leverage. Get it on a lift for the frame, check the T-tops for leaks, confirm the ACK repair scope, and insist on a real drive. Verdict: buy after inspection. Honest long-term owner, desirable anniversary year, numbers matching original drivetrain, flaws disclosed up front, fair price. This is one of the cleaner, more trustworthy listings of the whole day. Just get under it to check that birdcage frame, and don't skip the drive no matter how the cash in hand line makes you feel.